Hello, hello, hello. Happy Saturday, everybody. It's been a while, hasn't it? Hi, hi, hi. Welcome in. I figured we'll chat on the beach today. I'm in a beachy mood, and you'll see why. But hello, welcome in. Congrats, Ace, on getting first. Hello, main man Q, member of Fantasy and also player 0xp, all around cool dude. Everybody should go follow Q. Hi, Rekasu. Hi, Daniel. Hi. It's the first roll from back from vacation and 17. That bodes well, actually. I think that's pretty good. How's it going, everybody? I missed you all so much. It's only been, what, 2 weeks, I guess? It feels like longer, doesn't it? So yeah, I've been on vacay. Hi, Yuzuki Ayo, my beloved. Hello. Let me give you a shout out, Yuzuki Ayo, my beloved. Hi, everybody. I'm back. I would say I went to the store and got milk, but I did not. I flew so far away. Hi, Osmer. Welcome in. I can breathe for the first time now you're back. Oh my god, that's a long time to hold your breath. Girlie, please. You take my breath away. I can't take yours. Then there's no oxygen left. Hi, Osmer. Hello. I went on vacation. It was super fun. I'm excited to talk about it. I have other stuff that I need to stream this week, and instead I'm like, I can't stream anything until I like catch up with everybody. So this is it. This is our chatting time. This is our catch up time before we what I want to try and do this week is actually hop on that RP server that I was supposed to hop onto, and we'll get into why it's taken me so long to do it. Is that the beautiful star? Oh my gosh, I don't know, maybe. How's it going, Ace? How's it going? I hope you're having a good day. So yeah, I missed you all so much. Shall we get into it? I went to Panama. I didn't tell anyone because internet safety, but yeah, I took a week and a half to fly out and visit Panama. It was a beautiful place. I have pictures. I'm excited to show them off. Yeah, can you picture? I had the opportunity to take a flight to Panama, and me and my family went to Panama and like got to really see the sights. We went to a bunch of museums. We went on the beach. Like I said, I have lots of pictures that I'm gonna go through in a bit, but it was fun. Missed you all. I'm glad. Hi Hazel, my beloved. How's it going? Oh man, it was so good. Chat. Panama, beautiful place. It was like, it is something that I would have never thought I would wanted to go to. Like, it's not like, oh my god, my bucket list is to go to Panama, but when this opportunity came, I was like, yeah, you know what, I want to see it. And my parents found really cool places for us to visit in Panama, and it was a great experience. Less beautiful now that you're not there right now. Dang, I was doing the lines today. I'm sure it's just as beautiful. So yeah, it started off I'm having highs and lows because I start off very blessed. I start very cursed, and then I get like really good period, and then I get very cursed again. So I flew out, and I don't know if people know if they're not from the States, but shit is bad with the TSA. So I got to the airport super early, and you know what? Let me just preface this. I have a bad history when it comes to flying. I love to fly. I love being on an airplane. I love getting me a stroopwafel and like just chilling for like 2 to 3 hours. Inevitably, my planes always get delayed. Inevitably, like, stuff happens with my planes, and I'm always like struggle busing. But you know what? I was confident because I was like, you know, like the past couple like flights that I've had have been easy. They've been so good. Like, I have not had any problems with the airports. And you know, like, I go in at 4 a.m. because my flight leaves at 7, and with it, like, all that stuff, I was like, oh, I gotta get there early. Hi, 0xp. Hello, welcome in. 74 months.
Official just subscribed.
Oh my gosh. Hi, tier 2 for 74 months. Oh my god. That's dedication. How's it going? How's it going, Multi? I hope you're doing okay at work. So anyways, yeah, I was like so confident because you tier 3. Yuzuki, don't start a fight. Yuzuki's choosing violence, I guess. Don't kill me, Multi. I need to be here with Tisha. Mods crush Yuzuki. I was cool. Multi, roll your dice. Roll your dice. Let's see how your luck is today. I'm curious. You can do this now? Oh wait, what? Uh-oh. I'm afraid. Oh, okay. Let's see, high roller. 14. Not gonna cut it. 7. That's like half. It's amazing that you got half. Okay. Yuzuki got a 7. Okay. Okay. Oh, 2. Oh no, it's okay. You're just getting your bad rolls out now. You're just getting them out now. Multi, he's at work. He's not coming back. Do you have any last minute words? Oh yeah, okay. Oh my gosh. Hello, welcome in, Starsies! It's been forever. Welcome in, welcome in. Let me time out someone real quick. Okay, there we go. Welcome in. Bark, 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 bark. So many barking. I got a new cactus today. It was destined. Hell yeah. And I just came back. You know that's me, my spirit coming. Welcoming the cactus home. Hello, welcome in, Raiders. My name is Captain Freestar, otherwise known as Tisha, variety streamer and VTuber, who drew and rigged her own model. Today I'm chatting about my vacation. I recently came back from Panama, and I'm kind of like gonna discuss and show some photos and have a chill time. Worth it? You know what? Spend your points as much as you want. I just have to. Someone remind me that after 5 minutes to give the moderator position back to 0xp before he yells at me the next time. But how was your stream? Let me give you a shout out super quick. Everyone should go follow Starsies. Super cute VTuber. Let me see. I think I got that right. Nope. That's just your exclamation point. I am out of practice. I am sorry. I haven't streamed in like 2 weeks. And now I'm there we go. Heartopia, how are you liking it? I hope it was lots of fun. Let me make sure. Sorry, Star. I wish I could stay awake, but I'm falling asleep. Have a good night and have a stream on. Oh, thank you so much. You have a good night. Thank you for stopping by. I completely get it. I am starting super late tonight, but yeah, everybody go follow Starsies and get comfy, and we're gonna hang out and chat. Hope your nights are going well. So anyways, yeah. So before I got distracted, sorry. So my flights are usually cursed, right? Like so I get out to the airport at 4 a.m. My flight's at 7, and I'm like, I need to be there like 3 hours early since TSA is you know, TSA. And so I get there super early. I'm super sleep deprived, and we board the plane, and I'm like, okay, all right, everything's fine. Nothing's delayed. We're fine. They immediately deboard us because I was flying from, like, I was doing a pit stop in another city, and that city had really terrible weather. I had to fly to Houston, and Houston had terrible weather, so they delayed every plane. Every plane was delayed, and I'm like, okay, it's fine, except I had a connecting flight. So my connecting, they were like, well, your connecting flight may be delayed or may not be delayed. So I was like, okay, all right, that's fine. I'll just get a later flight. So I ended up having to fly, go there, have a layover because the plane was super delayed. Also, they scan your face now for check-ins, and I don't like that. I just gotta can I put that out there? Can I put that out there for those of you who are traveling in the USA? They have face scans now for everything. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. There's something about that I cannot stand. But there's also nefariousness that because you're just trying to get through, you can't really make a stink about it because they technically have, like, if you don't want your face scanned, you can do alternate whatever, but no one does that because you gotta get going. Yeah. Oh, face scans universal for the newer lockers, and I was like, bro, I looked different in the layout. I know. Yeah. That now, like, it was so weird because, like, they didn't even really, like, scan my passport. They just, like, scan my face. I'm like, I hate this. I hate this dystopia that we are in so much. But I have to be complicit because I need to get moving. I got a trip to go on. So yeah. I ended up having like dinner at the Houston airport, and it was nice, but like it was way too expensive, but I had a nice pasta. Face card tap to pay headbutts, honestly. It's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time until our bank accounts are connected to our face scans. I really wish I was in the flying cars future, not in the face scan AI future. It's fine. It's whatever. Scary. It's scary. But I arrived, safe and sound. The weather actually wasn't too bad getting into Houston. It was just like a little bit of turbulence. But I am a seasoned flyer, so I'm like, it's fine. I do. Ooh, let me show vacation photos. I took some pictures from the plane, and it was so cool flying over the water and everything like that, and then you can't see it because it's blurry as shit because it's so dark out. But as I was approaching Panama, you could see the lights of all the boats like waiting to cross the canal, which I thought was so cool. Because I don't know if you know this, but the big draw of Panama is their canal. So it was really neat to see all the boats up at night. So I'm in a way kind of bad that I was delayed and I got there so late. In a way kind of cool because I got to see the boats at night. So you win some, you lose. So my first day in Panama, we go to like where the origin point of Panama is. And like there's a bunch of like just ruined walls, but this is like where originally like when the Spanish came and like had started establishing settlements, they had built this, which is like a town, and this was like used to be the highest building in Panama, was this tower. Then that's the one that's like still kind of standing, and they're having to prop up some of these walls because they're slowly crumbling down. But it was really neat learning the history of Panama and getting to see some of these sites, because there's a lot of stories about like the indigenous people, and then like the Spanish conquistadors that came and like wanted to use Panama as basically a crossing point. So they would use a lot of like mules or like guides to go across the country in order to like take gold from one of their ships on one side, to another ship on the other side so that they can like ship it off from there. 2 and a 16. Welcome in, Lord Hexer. 16 will do it. I don't know about the 2. So they had what was originally their old town, Panama, and it lasted up until pirates that were sanctioned by the British came and basically wrecked their shit. So it was really interesting going to the museum and getting to see like all the old stuff, and the view was breathtaking. I loved like seeing all the different plants. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. So up until the point where I went to visit Panama, I had been playing a lot of a game called Green Hell. And for those of you who don't know, Green Hell is about surviving in a jungle. Like it is a survival crafting game where you are in a jungle. And I've been playing that so much, and then I go to Panama, and Panama's weather and plant life is very jungle-like. And my stupid brain rotted, like, I was so rotted by this Green Hell that I'm like, oh my gosh, the plants look just like they do in Green Hell. Because it's very much like the Amazonian jungle-like thing. So that's like, I could not stop thinking about it, like, my whole trip there. It was very nice. The weather was surprisingly nice because they're in the middle of their like dry season. So even though it is very like tropical, it wasn't as humid as it could be, and that was very good for me because I am a cactus. I do well in dry heat. I do not do well in humidity at all. I suffer every time it gets a little bit humid. Like, so I was very glad to be there during the dry season. It's perfect. Too gamer pilled. I'm too gamer pilled. I was like, man, I could chop down those palm trees and like make a little bed right now. Too gamer pilled with it. But it was really neat when I was in that like original place of Panama City, the original Panama City of it, to see like the contrast between like this old stone structure and then seeing like the buildings of the city on the other side. And then you can also see the ocean. So it was really cool seeing like these old buildings and trying to make a view of it. Another cool thing is, so we did that the first day, and then the next day we went to what's called Casco Viejo, which is basically like an old downtown Panama. So like it had such pretty architecture, and it had like lots of little shops, people selling things, and lots of little museums. So I went to a lot of museums that were like about the history of the canal, the history of Panama itself, like how they established themselves as a country, and just kind of how they went from like basically like this being a crossing point between the northern and southern hemisphere. Like it started off as just ocean, and then as volcanoes like erupted, it made the landmass, and that actually made an exchange of animals from the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere to walk across this land bridge. And the same thing with the people. So a lot of like animals that had originated in like the North America had traveled to south and vice versa. And then the Spanish conquistadors came. They tried to establish like, you know, their foothold here. Got wrecked by pirates. And the intermingling of like the Spanish and the indigenous people, the routes of the slave trade and like the spice trade and all this other stuff as like they used this bridge. And then even when the gold rush started happening in like, you know, the North American side, how they used to use this Panama as like with mules to carry mail to California from like the like other side. So it was really cool, like learning their history. And then afterwards they had done like people had done multiple attempts to try and figure out how to make commerce and like ways to go across easier with the use of trains. And then eventually like the person that made the Suarez Canal had tried to make a canal in Panama, but it was different because in Egypt, like they were able to make it easily because they could just cut through. But because of the jungle and like all of the mosquitoes, they were unable to do the same thing because people were just dying to yellow fever and malaria. Oh, thank you so much for the follow, Audio friend. I am so sorry if I mispronounced that. Welcome in. So they chat. I did not get shots before we went there, and I should have. We keep hearing about. I like sprayed so much bug spray on myself every day that I was there because I was so afraid. Because I was like, I did not get vaccinated for yellow fever or malaria. Oops. It was fine. I didn't end up having to need it. The mosquitoes mostly left me alone because of the bug spray. But so it was interesting. So the canal idea was shot originally because it was the Chagres River, I think, made it kind of impossible for them to really dig through. It was too unleveled, and so they originally, after that was shot and the funds were mismanaged and they couldn't do a canal, then they did a train, and then eventually good old Teddy Roosevelt came and was like, know what, I want this canal built. So instead what they did was they dammed up the river and then flooded basically a valley, and made it so that they had a canal on each side, like the interlocking systems, which I'll go over later, like to raise up the boats to put it in this flooded valley before it can cross over to the other side and go through the locks again to go down into the ocean. So that's how they connected the Atlantic to the Pacific. And it was interesting too, like also learning about their own personal history and how, like, after that, like, in order for them to even do the canal, they had to get independence from Colombia, and how the U.S. kind of helped with that. And it was a very short revolution that they managed to get their independence from. Not gonna cut it, Lord Hexer. And then afterwards, there was a big fight for their own independence and control of the canal. Like, it took them a while for them to gain control of the Panama Canal, and they're very proud of their history because there's a lot that they did to, like, make sure their flags fly. And there's even a story of, like, these students that had basically went into the area to, like, get the Panama flag flying and were killed, and it sparked a lot of outrage and a lot of, like, discussion, and eventually, like, they got their own sense of identity and independence. And it was really interesting to listen to read about that. I took too long in the museum. My mom had to, like, come and grab me and, like, we need to leave, we cannot spend here all day. But I love a museum. So that's my little history lesson from what I remember from the museum. I apologize. It's a lot of me yapping about it, but I will go on any vacation and I will love to go to museums. Like, I love to just learn about history of places. Do I remember them years after? Probably not, but I like to learn in the moment, you know? I like to read. But anyways, this is Casco Viejo. So, like, it was really interesting seeing, like, the architecture. I just love, like, the terraces of, like, the balconies and everything like that. They actually have this, like, thing where they're doing where you can build whatever you want on the inside, but the outside has to maintain this kind of architectural view because they want to, like, preserve that. So it was really, really nice to see that. There was this big church, and then this is a square in Casco Viejo, and, like, there's a bunch of people selling stuff because, like, that's the thing, when you go to any place that's very touristy, there are always a bunch of people just trying to sell you, like, keychains. Like, keychains and quote unquote authentic hats and stuff like that. But also, like, the people from, like, the Gunayala tribes too, they come and they do dances and stuff, and yeah, these are them. So they have this really interesting like, they dance, and they have, like, the reed pipes that they were blowing into, And it's interesting because the women have like these beads that they wrap around their limbs. And there's a whole like story behind like why they do it and their spiritual practices that I thought was really cool. So I took some pictures of that. This was in one of the Panama museums. I like sculpture. When we were in Casco Viejo, we went to a bar called Pinche Cantina, which I thought was funny because Pinche Cantina is basically like fucking cantina, like a fucking bar. And it was a Mexican themed bar in the middle of Panama. And they had like this iguana that was just chilling in there. That was like one of their like, I guess he's just there. So I got to have some, I don't drink too much. So I just had some like strawberry juice, which everybody did really good blended strawberry juice, like everywhere I went. And we just hung out in the cantina and had some like bar food and stuff like that. But look at this handsome man. Look at him. He was so cool. He would like move and then he would kind of like rock his head like he was dancing to the music. It was really funny. And then they also had some birds that they had upstairs that I said hello to just because I love them. This is from one of the Panama museums. So they talked a lot about the differences in lifestyles with the people in the canal, because there were like the gold ticket workers and the silver ticket workers. And the silver ticket workers, you know, were paid less. There are a lot of like more of like the indigenous or the mixed indigenous or like recently freed slaves, or you know, the individuals that just weren't paid as well. They weren't in high in status. 4 and a 12. Welcome in, Chaos Infinity. The 12 might get it. And then they had like the gold ticket workers, which is obviously like the people from like America, like the people that like the white people that get paid better, and how they had like different kind of lifestyles and practices and stuff like that. So it was really interesting to see like the differences between the two depending on like your status and how they managed everything. This is like so the thing about Panama is a lot of like the beach areas, especially around Panama City, you can't swim in them. Because too many people like dump stuff in the river and then it floats down, or like with the boats and everything, like the water's just not clean. But it was nice just being near the ocean. I always just love to like listen to the waves. But yeah, it was so pretty. Like this one hadn't been restored, but a lot of like the sides have been restored. This is actually a really fancy hotel that a architect from Singapore was like stopping by to visit in Panama, and I think his like wife really liked it, and he got convinced to make a hotel, and so he designed this really fancy hotel in Panama. There's a whole story to it, but I don't remember it right off the top of my head. I had to put this in. So like one of my first days there, we had dinner at the Fat Lady, which is like just this like food truck looking thing. They had amazing burgers, but I am just dying at the fact that their like mascot is a colored hippo from Madagascar movies. It was so good though. Like I had like the burger would like the meat is very fresh in Panama. I think because they have a lot of beef trades. And this I've heard the same thing about like Brazil. This is the canal. So this is one of the boats that was being lifted up in order to go into I think we were on the Atlantic side. So it was really cool seeing as they would come into the canal. So they lowered the water to bring them in. And then once they're in and they close the gates, then they bring the water up and then keep going along those interlocking things. So we went in early in the morning and we were able to see like a couple of the boats cross through. And and everything is done through gravity. Like, it is not done through any mechanical pumps or anything like that. All of like their way of moving the water up and down is just opening up like a bunch of valves and tunnels in order to let gravity move the water around. So it was really, really cool. And then like it's so narrow of a like space that these ships have to go through. Like, there's only maybe like a foot or two on each side of the boat. So in order to like make sure that the boats cross safely, they have these what they call mules, which is like these mechanical things that attach to the boat and guide it, and will push and pull just to make sure that it stays exactly centered and doesn't run into the walls. And like, because the boat also has to move on its own engines, they don't pull it through. So like through like these boats to guide and watch over, they have to go through the canal. Also, an interesting note is that with the Panama Canal, the captains on the ships don't pilot it. So like, they have a specific Panamanian captain that will guide the ship through, like that will pilot or drive the ship through these canals. So you cannot cross the canal without having this Panamanian captain aboard to like be able to ensure that you're doing it safely and doing it correctly. It's really cute too, because when the boats passed by nearby, they were all waving. Like, all the people aboard waved. But it was so neat to see people cross through the canal. And it's just a bunch of different cargo ships. And then this ship in the back is actually a ship that's too big for the normal canal. So they built this one like ages ago, right? Like they built this, and they haven't really changed it much since the time of the original building. But a few years back, they found that ships were getting bigger and bigger, and cargo was too big to fit through the canal. So they had to make an expansion. So there's a whole different opening in the back that's expanded for these bigger ships. Like, this one was on its way from Mexico to Jamaica, and it's a huge, huge cargo ship. So you see the one like nearby, and then there's an even bigger one behind. It was really cool. I just think these things are neat to see. It's like, it was a great experience to like get to see. And then they played like a little, like there's a little IMAX movie where they explain the history of everything. And then we went back to Casco Viejo and like continued like just walking around and seeing the sights. I loved the architecture of downtown Panama. Like, there were some really neat buildings there. In their city's landscape. I really wish I was better at architecture, but I have a deep appreciation for like the way that buildings are structured. I forgot I included this. This is so part of like the natives there, they have this process where they make I'm hoping I'm saying this right. Molas, I think. Which is an interesting kind of like hold on, let me make sure I'm saying this right. Yeah, molas. It's an interesting way of hand stitching things, and it's like there's a lot of cultural thing to it. And the interesting thing is it's made almost in like, it's made with layers, and what they do is like they cut out and fold back and stitch to make all the layers of these intricate designs. And like there's different reasons for each of them, and some of them are just like saying stories of like, okay, my father was a fisherman, so like that's why our family has a lot of fish molas. Or like some of them are like labyrinths to trap evil spirits or anything like that. So it was really interesting. We went to a museum about it, and then when we went to the islands, we were able to learn more about it from like the people themselves. But it blows my mind when you can do these intricate designs, and even all done through like cutting and stitching. But it's so neat seeing the way that they like structure everything. So we went to a museum about it. And like they have a whole area in Casco Viejo that is just like the molas hanging up. And there's also one where it's like the hats, like the avenue of hats and stuff like that. So all the Panamanian hats hanging up. Gosh, it was so pretty. It was so hot, but it was so pretty. But I loved walking around all the little streets, and just kind of getting to see the city, and the architecture. Okay, and then our like, was this day three or four? We went to Monkey Island, and what it is like in the middle of like the canal, when you know that area they flooded, there's a couple islands that have monkeys on it, and you can take a tour boat to go and see the monkeys. And so we got to hop on it. So we're in the middle of the canal basically, and we got to like go and see a couple of the monkeys. Like this one was I think the howler monkeys. And these ones were kind of shy, like they didn't really approach too much. But the boat driver like had grapes to feed to them. Look at this little guy. They really like the grapes. There's some other people there that were trying to like feed them bananas, and they didn't want the bananas, they just wanted grapes. And then these ones were the ones that were really like jumping all over the boats, the capuchin monkeys. They remind me a lot of like, what is it, Ace Ventura? Like that one Jim Carrey movie. And then they would like come and eat the peanuts. And then these ones were really small. They're like the TT monkeys or something like that. And it took him a while. Our guide was really nice. Like he worked really hard to make sure that the monkeys would come over, because these ones were super shy because they're smaller, like they're tiny. So we would like actually like make the monkey sounds to make them come over, and like went to different spots to sit and stand in order for them to come over. I have videos, but I don't want to dox myself, so like unfortunately I was like, maybe I'll edit the video so that I can show them on stream, and I'm like, that's a lot of work. But it's just like these little islands in the middle of the canal that they kind of took us on a speedboat across. It was really fun going on these little boats. It was kind of scary because when you have like the big cargo ships passing by, they leave a lot of like wakes. So like sometimes the boat would hit it too fast and it would be jumping up and down a little too fast. But overall, like it was a pretty interesting journey. And you got to see like the cargo boats, and I just like the art and the murals around were so good. We when we were there, we went to a fish place where they had like fresh catches called marisco, and it was good. It was just like I went in and I don't know, the smell of fish was overwhelming. And then we went over to this place that had like almost like a bay, and just kind of took photos, walked the like almost like a boardwalk, and had desserts and stuff like that. So it was a nice little walk. Got to see the boats hanging out. And then when the last place that we went, or one of the really fun places that we went, no, the last place. So this is Gunayala. So in Panama, they have the indigenous Panamanians that have like tribes and like basically land out in the Caribbean. I'm gonna mispronounce it. I'm gonna apologize. So you can go and do like a boat tour, and they take you to like a bunch of the little islands. You get to go onto the beach, and then you also get to see like how they live like their lives and stuff like that. It was so gorgeous. Like the The beaches were the clearest. I'm gonna take off my shirt. I'm in a beach mood. The water was so blue. I've never seen water so clear and blue. Like, it made the sky look dull because it was just a beautiful shade of cerulean and like deep blue and just blue. And the weather was so nice, and we got to spend some time in the beach and just looking out at the ocean and hanging out and look how clear that water was. Like, you could see everything. And I did a little bit of snorkeling, and I actually like took my phone in like one of those waterproof things to like try and look at the fishes. Although this one's not as good of a video. I had another one, but I think I didn't upload it. But I actually went to like a little bit of semi snorkeling to like take pictures of the fish. It was so clear. There wasn't fish everywhere. It was only really around this like little sunken boat that they had there, that's where the flags are. But it was still nice to like kind of dive down and see them. I'm so used to like I'm so used to like the beaches in California or like in the East Coast, where the water's not as clear. So it was really neat to be in these nice beachy areas. Hi Phantom, how's it going? Welcome in. Thank you so much for the follow. We're just chatting about vacation. Man. My captain, welcome in. I want to be on the beach again. Anytime I'm on vacation, there's two things I want to do. I want to go to a museum and I want to go on the beach. That's my ideal vacation, is beach time. Look how clear the water is. It was almost like glass or resin. It was so good. And the water was warm too. Take me back. I want to go back. Oh, it was so good. I got to nap in a hammock on one of the beaches. Oh, and then they took us to this like one of the things is like sometimes there's islands that get swept away, and so like it's very shallow water. So I gotta take a picture of the starfish that was hanging out there. And it's very shallow water with a lot of warm spots. White pearly beaches and crystal blue ocean is the best beach. Honestly, yeah. Just listening to the water of the ocean crash and seeing the clear water and the white sands, it's so good. So it was nice. And then they gave us like, you could choose fish or chicken and you get to relax. I fell asleep. This is my view as I fell asleep. I got onto that hammock and I had been out in the sun all day, and I snoozed for like the 30 minutes that we were allowed on this island. 8? I don't know. That's probably not gonna do it unless you get a better modifier. It's so tropical. Take me back. Take me back to the hammock. Let me snooze more. 17, that'll do it. That's a success. Gunayala. So that's the name of basically the tribe land that we were on. And then this is how they kind of lived. They had these structures of like those, like, I don't think it's thatch, but basically wooden things. I didn't want to take too much pictures because they said you could take pictures, but then they're also like, you have to be respectful and like ask people. And so like, I always feel weird about that kind of stuff. Hey bro, welcome in. Coming in with a nice 3. Do you want to try re-rolling that? And then so one of the last like couple days of vacation is we went to a more north in Panama. Not quite to like Costa Rica, but like more north in the mountain area. And we stayed in this really fancy hotel. Hey, see, 19 will do it. I took pictures of ducks because I thought they looked cute. They were fun. But this is like the hotel that we stayed in. It's called La Compañía. It was fancy. It was so fancy. Like that's like one of their little restaurants that they have there. And this is just like one of their back views. Vacation was great. I had so much fun and it was so relaxing. Quackathon, imagine. The ducks were just hanging out. They were chill. I've never seen ducks that chill, you know? Cause like most of the time when you see ducks, they're little assholes. But these ones, they like just kind of like walked up to you, looked at you, and then left. Like they're the most chill ducks you know. Look at this little guy. Isn't he so cute? He was almost close enough to touch. I wouldn't touch him though, because I don't trust a duck. Because I think ducks, much like geese, can also choose violence. So I didn't touch them. But it was really pretty. And like the first day that we were there, we stayed overnight and then left the next day. But unfortunately, like it was really cloudy. So we didn't get to see the mountains much on the first day. But like the hotel had this nice like villa feel to it. And like this was our little balcony in our room. And then this was the room. Look how fancy they made the ceiling. They were all about like this new age, like I had the feeling, because they have a spa built in, right? So like I have a feeling that this is very much like one of those hotels that you come into to like new agey, feel good, healing, mountainous air thing. I don't know. Some of the sculptures in that. Look, it's me. No matter where I go, I find myself. I just thought it was neat that they had some cactuses. But yeah, they had a lot of like meditation places, a lot of like really nice sculptures around. I didn't even upload all the pictures of the sculptures that I had around. So I felt like it was a very relaxing place. They had like sunrise meditation yoga, which I did not participate in, but it was really cool just walking around the hotel. And just kind of like seeing their sculptures and their setup. Originally, my family we were doing stuff together, and then they're like, we want to go into town and go shopping. And I'm like, I don't really want to shop, because we drove through the town as it was. So I just walked around the hotel. Oh my gosh. Okay. So when we went to Guinayala, I forgot to say this. The roads to that place were like fucking Mario Kart. It was all hills and sharp curves, and it was like being on a roller coaster. It was like being on a ride at Disneyland, because it was like just so much up and down, so much like left and right and curves. And I don't get motion sick. I'm not a person that gets motion sick. That was getting me very close to being motion sick. I was starting to get nauseous. Thank you for watering the cacti. You sure named to Captain Cackstar. Imagine. I don't know if that flows off quite as well. So like, oh god, driving in Panama is also a nightmare. Because they're not really. It is like a fight for your life driving on the Panamanian roads, because everybody is like out for themselves. So you have to be so aggressive and like just shove your way in to merge places, because it is scary. And even the roads here to this hotel were kind of like also very curvy and up and down, but they weren't as bad as Gunayala. But oh god, it was so pretty. I just walked around and took photos because I wanted to experience the hotel. So I was like kind of flying solo. Here's more of the mountains, and this is where they have their happy hour for drinks and stuff like that. So I ended up having dinner by myself at the hotel, and it was very fancy. Like I was not expecting so fancy. But it was neat just eating dinner. I had like an amazing steak. and like watching the mountain and the vapors rise from the mountain to join the clouds. And then afterwards we did happy hour, and like just drank wine and looked at the mountains. It was so pretty. The view was so nice. I love a good view. And then I think this is, let me mute it because the wind, but you can see the clouds moving on the mountains, and like the almost like the water vapors from the jungle. Not, it wasn't very jungly, it was more piney, but like the water vapor from the mountain joined into the clouds. So it was very neat to see. So it was off and on raining, which is a shame, but at the same time I think it added to the atmosphere of the mountainous area. It was so cool. Oh man. Yeah, look how beautiful. This is the next day, and then we spent the last little bit before we had to check out, like going to breakfast, and then they had a heated pool, so we just spent a couple hours in the heated pool looking at the mountains and just relaxing before we drove back. It was such a pretty experience. So yeah, that was my entire trip to Panama. It was just kind of seeing the sights, walking around like the towns, Monkey Island and Gunayala and everything like that. It was a fun trip. And then the flight back, again, I had to get up at like 4 a.m. and I normally try and sleep on planes if I can, and I just could not sleep on the way back. On the 4-hour flight, because a couple times I had like tried to fall asleep and I was in the middle. Being in the middle seat in the plane, the worst, the absolute worst. I would not wish it on anybody. So like I couldn't lean against anything, and I just kept waking myself up, and so I got too embarrassed, and so I was just like, okay, you know what, I'm just gonna stay up. So didn't get much sleep, land in Houston, and TSA is a nightmare. It is an absolute nightmare. Coming back was terrible, because since everything is kind of like TSA is kind of shut down with the shutdown, I had a 3-hour layover, and I stood in line for the entirety of that 3 hours trying to get through TSA, because it was back so much. They had a winding path in the basement and then a winding path up just for them to scan my bag, which I thought was stupid. I know they have to, but they scanned my bag before I got on the plane to Houston on Panama, and then they had to scan it in again when I got in Panama. Why is that? It sucks. They didn't even really check my passport. They did the stupid face scan thing. When they said you're an American citizen, scan your face. Get on through. But yeah, American security sucks. And so I had to stand in line for 3 hours. And even then, that was the shorter line, because that was the connecting flight line. And it was like the people that are coming from outside that had an even longer line, according to the people inside. I don't know. I didn't verify. I was just like, that's a big line. So like 3 hours of my 3-hour layover was spent standing in line. I was so tired. I was so tired. My backpack was so heavy. My carry-on was so heavy. 3 fucking hours. Everybody in line had seen this and were like, oh no. I had people in front of me and I had people in back of me that were calling to reschedule their flights because they had like a 2-hour layover or 1-hour layover, and they were gonna miss their planes. And so like everybody's like, fuck, I'm gonna miss my plane. And I was like, fuck, am I gonna miss my plane? And thankfully I didn't, because I had a 3-hour layover, but I had to run. I got out of that line. I got onto the Skytram. I am running. Also, Houston Airport sucks. I'm sorry if you love Houston and love its airport, it sucks. Getting off the international flight, I had to walk 5 fucking miles, it felt like, just to get to like customs. There's the hallways are long for no reason. It is so big for no reason. There's so much empty space that you're just fucking walking through. I can't. It was so bad. So I ran and I'm like, fuck, I'm not gonna get anything to eat, am I? And thankfully I had 5 minutes. So I like got like Panda Express at the airport and I ate it while standing in line when they were doing boarding and quickly threw it out like whatever rice was left when I was like near the front. It was bad. It was bad. Oh man. We made it through. We live, but oh my god, it fucking sucked. Thankfully, none of my flights were delayed. I was able to hop on the airplane and I came home. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm home early enough. Maybe maybe I'll stream and I'll catch up with everybody. I landed and then I neglected the fact that I did not have my house key on me. So I had to wait for Multi to get back home in order to get into the house. And he didn't. He was working until 9 p.m. And I was like, fuck. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. Whatever. It's fine. The next day, I'm like, okay. Alright, well, maybe I'll stream. I think I got back sometime in the middle of like of this week. And I was like, okay, maybe I'll stream. My computer wouldn't turn on. Fuck. So, I've been having problems, like people have noticed, like I've been having problems with lag and stuff like that. And part of it is my CPU was overheating. My CPU was getting up to like 95 degrees and my cooler was doing jack shit for it. And so I bought a new cooler and I was going to replace it. And I took like, after my monitors wouldn't turn on, so my monitors wouldn't turn on. My computer turned on, but my monitors wouldn't turn on. And probably the problem was because of my CPU, allegedly. So I'm like, okay, let me replace this cooler. And then I took one look at it and like had tried to remove it. And I was like, I'm in over my head. I'm not doing this. So I took it to get serviced. And so I was like, okay, well, maybe they'll just put it on and I'll have it on in a few days. And I was hoping that it would be overnight, but they said no, 3 to 4 days. I'm like, fuck. Okay, whatever. And then it turns out that my old cooler had cracked and was leaking fluid onto my computer. And it was leaking fluids more specifically onto my graphics card. So I had to get my graphics card replaced. And then people upsold me on a graphics card. So I have a 5060 now, which is a pretty hefty graphics card. The problem is when they told me about this, and then they put it in my computer, they neglected to tell me, like I had to ask them straight up. I was like, hey, you know, this is a high graphics card and my computer's kind of old. Will it still be able to handle it? And they're like, yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. And then come to find out today, they're like, actually, because the graphics card is so new and your CPU is so old, you're going to have a lot of bottlenecking and lag. And I'm like, fuck! The exact thing I was worried about. So we're so they try to be like, oh, you can buy a new CPU and we can put it in. And I was like, I just spent so much money on a new graphics card. And they're like, well, we can downgrade your graphics card to match the CPU, but it won't come in until April 1st. And then we have to install it. And I was like, well, fuck. And yeah. Exactly, Yuzuki. Yeah, exactly, Yuzuki. But then you need a new motherboard. And I told them that exactly. Hi, Death and Beast. I was like, hey, you know, you upsold me on this graphics card. And now you're trying to have me do the CPU. But then are you going to say, like, my motherboard's not going to... And they're like, yeah, well, you probably have to replace the motherboard. And then you probably have to replace the RAM. And I'm like, at this point, I'm getting a new computer. And they're like, well, you know, you're just going to see tearing and stuff like that. I'm like, well... So I have 60 days to figure out if, like, if I need to, like, downgrade graphics cards or not. I might enlist Yusuke and Asterix to try and help me find motherboard and CPU and stuff like that, and maybe save up for it, but that's where we're at currently. So I have a new graphics card. I have a new cooler. We'll see what that means for streams in the future. I don't know. I'm like scared to try anything out, to be honest. I have not tried any oh, I meant to just drag my window, not everything. I'm very scared to try out games on stream. We'll see. I have a Minecraft event that I'm needing to do. By the way, I'm in a Minecraft event. Hey. Let me pull up my picture for it. Give me a second. I got invited to this really cool D&D RP Minecraft event, and I made a character for it and everything. And I was like, cool. Can't wait to start that immediately after getting home. And then the shit happens, I guess. But this is my character for it. It's called Adventurous Session. I'll try and let me see. Is there a tweet that I can share with people? Hold on. I'm gonna try and do it this week. So I'm gonna see how well I can set everything up and hopefully be able to launch and announce and everything like that tomorrow after things. This is the announcement trailer for it. I'm so excited to play it. I really hope it runs on my new graphics card with throttling and bottlenecking. I'm hoping that if I just keep like resolutions low, it'll be fine. I played a little bit of Green Hell and it was okay. I played Final Fantasy and it lagged a little bit, but it always lags whenever I'm in Limsa, so that might not be anything new. And it did okay, but then also like I was having trouble with my YouTube studio earlier, so we'll see how that all goes. We'll see. We'll figure it out one way or another. That's just Final Fantasy. Yeah, that's just Final Fantasy 14. It always lags, so I'm not I'm not too concerned with it yet. But we'll see. Man, I'm just glad to have my computer back because I spent 2 days basically without it. No, 3 days. Yeah, 3 days. And I worked, so it was fine, but like in the afternoon I'm like, fuck. I don't have my computer to like play games or be on Discord. What the fuck am I gonna do it? Game runs closer you are to the bench. Oh no. True. Accurate. The middle of Limsa where everybody's loading in, it was like, oh, kill me. So we'll see how things go. But I just loaded up my PlayStation. And I didn't want to play any of my stream games off stream. So I played Death Stranding. I did 2 or 3 days of just dedicating myself to fucking Norman Reedus and Baby. I love that game. Unironically, I love Death Stranding. It's one of my top games. It's so fun. Norman Reedus and his funky fetus. I love it. I love my child in a jar. Which sounds so fucked. It sounds so fucked. I do too. I want to play 2, and I thought about streaming 2, but I almost feel like Death Stranding is also hard to stream because it's so much walking. But I also just really want to play it because I love Death Stranding. But because it's been so long since I played 1 that I've forgotten most of the story beats, I need to like reorient myself to the funky mind of Kojima before I play Death Stranding 2. So I'm gonna play more off stream. I have a lot of games that I need to finish before I add another long form game to play on stream. I still need to finish Resident Evil 9. I've been wanting to get back into that, but like it came out right before my vacation. Resident Evil had the audacity to come out right before my vacation, so I only got one stream out of it. And I want to continue with Cult of Lamb and actually like beat the DLC. Genius Kojima. I can't wait until Kojima's new game comes out. For as funky as he is, I love his games. His new horror game that he has planned, I think will be a lot of fun. Yeah. So I have games to play before I add Death Stranding 2, and I'm sure there'll be more games that'll come out in the time that I want to do it. It's just the nature. It's hard because it feels like there's periods of time where there's like just no games whatsoever. Like there's no games to play. It's like, man, I guess I'll figure out. And then all of a sudden everything comes out at the same fucking time, and then I'm like, now I have to pick and choose. I'm like the girl with too much pancakes, trying to eat them all while also trying to do like other projects. Don't forget his Not Another Metal Gear game too. Yeah. Oh, Kojima. I don't know if I'm gonna play that one. I'm mainly wanting to play his horror game that's coming out. The one with I don't even know the name of it. I just remember the trailer. It was freaky. I like it. I love his funky little mind. But Death Stranding's fun. So, I would definitely recommend it. Go play Death Stranding. It's either that or Ghostwire. And I was feeling the Death Stranding mood. Actually, you know what? I was feeling, yeah, OD. I think that's the name of it. I was playing Death Stranding, and then I rage quit yesterday. I was so tired last night. And I was like, because I got in the news about the graphics card and I was so pissed and everything like that. But I was playing Death Stranding, and I got to a part where you had to test out a BT weapon. I'm like, that's fine. I did it. No, it wasn't bandits. It was like you had to test out the blood grenades. And I'm like, okay, I did it. I finished that order. And then I was trying to find my way around to get back to like a different place. And then I realized that I would have to go through the scripted BT territory again. I was like, fuck. But I didn't want to leave my motorcycle behind because it was the only vehicle I had. So I was like, maybe I can drive through the BTs. And if I go fast enough, I can keep my motorcycle and then get back on the path. And I thought so. That's it. I said, fuck it, we ball. I revved it. It wasn't fast enough. The stupid thing caught me. And I'm like, oh, fuck. And I didn't have my, knocked me down. So I didn't have my blood grenades. So I couldn't kill the thing. So the fucking whale ate me. And it voided out the area. And then, this is not going to make sense unless you play Death Stranding. I'm so sorry, normal viewers. But anyways, it voided out the area. So not only did I lose all my fucking packages, but I also lost my bike. And it's because I played it stupid. I tried to pee on it. I was stupid. I'm like, I might as well try. I don't got shit. Yeah. It leaves a massive crater, which means it like killed all my packages and it killed my bike. And up until then I had been like star model deliverer because I was taking my time since I wasn't streaming it. And like I got so pissed that all my packages were basically destroyed or not in good condition and my bike was gone. And I was just like, let me reload the save. And the save wasn't too far back, but I'm like, I don't want to do this. So I quit and I played Kingdom Hearts. I was like, I'm tired of this shit. Okay. So I quit and I started a save file of like Birth by Sleep on critical mode. I didn't get very far. It was getting very late and I was very tired. I was so mad. I was so mad. I'm like, I'm not I can't do this shit, Grandpa. Man. Well, you know, you win some, you lose some. I lost a lot. I lost my mind. That's what I lost. Gosh, I can't. And then I just missed having my computer. I miss having like I have stuff to do. I have shit to do. I have like art to do. Because we have sessions coming back soon. So Kingdom Hearts is coming back on Monday, so I'm like, fuck, I gotta do a thumbnail. So I'll show you guys. So I got back to work. I did, ooh, that is too big. I did a thumbnail for Kingdom Hearts, which I went with Veil this time. So a quick thumbnail. I'm not too happy with it, but it's good enough. And then I had to do one for Curse of Strahd. So got art done. I need to get back into the art swing of things. Every time like I'm in a place where I can't draw, I'm like, fuck, I want to draw so bad. And then when I actually get in front of my tablet, I'm like, fuck, I want to do anything but draw. Fuck. Fuck, I actually suck at this. I get so mad at myself. I'm like, man, I want to be better, and then I'm not. But you know what? Keep on keeping on. So it's so good though. Thank you. I appreciate it. I tried something funky with lens pose. So I like how the clown came out. I'm trying. I just gotta get back to the art game. I have things to catch up on. I really want to open up commissions. I really do. I'm just afraid of like consistency wise and free time wise. So we'll see. I might open up like Pokemon trainer commissions soon, because I have to do a couple of them anyways. But just so that you guys can see what I am meaning. What's a good example? So I did for Zero Speed we did a Pokemon challenge, which might actually come back, where we are trainers and stuff like that. So I drew a bunch of like the people participating in it as their Pokemon trainer like outfit that they wanted, their VTuber plus their Pokemon trainer. So I might actually open that up as like a commission series soon, because I think it was like a fun project and it's not that bad. What's the difference between you and birthday? What is the difference? It's a lot of fun. So maybe I'll open up Pokemon Trainer VTuber commissions, or maybe I'll just do something that's quick. Birthday special one day, but you're special every day. Aw, thanks. Welcome in. What an emote. I feel very special. Thank you. So yeah, we're just chatting, updating everybody about my trip, talking about where I've been. That's basically it. It feels like so long since I've streamed, but I've been so glad to just get back into it. I don't think I'm gonna go for very long tonight, because I still have more projects I need to work on before tomorrow, and I want to see if I can get that Minecraft thing up and running. But I didn't want to like start streaming that like Minecraft event without like catching up with everybody, because I feel like when you start doing like collabs and events and stuff like that, you don't really get to talk. And I like to yap. I want to catch up with you guys, see how you're doing. Let's see. I think we might leave it there for now. It's a little short of a stream. It's only an hour. But we'll be back in the swing of things. I'm gonna start doing Minecraft this week, and then I think after this week the event ends. So the following week we'll get back into like Final Fantasy and Cult of the Lamb and Resident Evil and all that fun stuff. But for now, I think we're gonna raid into Otis, let's go bother Otis for a bit. He's playing Homura Hime? I've never heard of that game. I'm sure it's very fun. So yeah. Thank you everybody for joining. Thank you for listening to me yap for a bit. I wanted to catch up with you guys. I wanted to have fun. I would play more games, but I kind of just want to have this contained. So I don't know how that sounds, like contained, but let's go right into Otis. And I will see you guys probably tomorrow. If not tomorrow, then Tuesday. Thank you everybody for joining, and I'll see you later. Stay safe, take care of yourself, love you lots, and have a very good night. Bye. Let me give you the raid message for the owl boy. All right. Bye bye everybody.